Welcome to Day 50, Becoming Peace Mini Meditation and Inspiration. Can you believe you've made it to Day 50? Thank you for joining me this far in this journey and making this a part of your daily routine. The name of today's session is 2 Fruits Plus 1. Today, we're covering a hot topic and diving into how we can get true, clear answers to our prayers. Discover the secrets to tuning our inner frequencies so we can align with heaven and getting clear God answers to our deepest concerns and questions. This space is being held for you as a faith-based rest stop for your soul, where you can drop that heavy backpack you're carrying on your shoulders and set it down for a rest. We hope that through the process, you can not only feel peace, but actually become peace today. So go ahead and grab a notebook and a pencil, as well as the essential oil you're using today. This week, our essential oil spotlight is doTERRA's Passion, the inspiring blend. Passion is what inspires us to do what we love. Even with all the great things in life, you may find yourself sometimes feeling disinterested and a little apathetic. Well, that's when you know it's time to create a new atmosphere filled with inspiration and joy. Passion Blend provides a spicy, warm, and rich aroma. It promotes a joyful, inspiring environment, and it's comprised of ginger, jasmine, one of my favorites, sandalwood, ylang ylang, wild orange, magnolia leaf, lemon, cardamom, bergamot, damiana, tonka bean, vanilla absolute, and topped off with cinnamon bark. So place 1 drop on your palms, rub your palms together, and take your palms 6 inches away from your nose. Then take a deep breath in through your nose, hold, and then out through your mouth. Good. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Good. Okay, let's just relax, clear your mind and heart, and make space for the silence today. And go with me as we take this special time for yourself to be inspired and to rest. So place your feet on the floor with your head free. Close your eyes, and when you're ready, take another deep breath in and out. Good. As we begin today, here's our centering thought. How am I able to get more spiritual inspiration coming to me? A golden question, wouldn't you agree? Who doesn't want more pure inspiration from heaven to help navigate earth life? Feeling like you're wandering around left to my own devices throughout my day is an uncomfortable feeling. I've often asked the question, really? How do I tap into that power I know is waiting to help me, but I'm not sure exactly how to call for or ask for help on that heavenly radio? The answer came one day after listening to someone I admire speak to a worldwide audience. Having God's Spirit with you actually produces 2 fruits. The first is obtaining the inspiration to know what to do. And the second is the power or capacity to do it. I hadn't even considered these two. I just thought I knew what I needed and I knew what I should ask for. Beep, not. It never occurred to me to ask for what to do or what to pray for, and I never really thought about asking for the capacity to carry out the direction either. I just needed help asking for what I wanted and have the pieces fall into place magically. So take a deep breath in and out. Both obtaining the inspiration to know what to do and the capacity to carry it out requires something. It requires consistency. There's no finality without consistency. Consistency is honestly trying to learn to recognize and follow the promptings I was receiving. So I began to ponder more, and the Spirit did indeed offer me a whole bunch more. Instead of handing God a punch list of wishes every day and telling Him what I needed, I became aware I needed to change my ways. Take a deep breath. To honor this unfolding process, here's what I learned. When I recognize and feel some type of prompting or whispering in my heart, I write it down. This shows God I'm serious about receiving more right out of the gate. I write down specific thoughts, conditions, or instructions I'm given, and this starts to build spiritual confidence. Next, start to study the information you've been given and see how it applies to your life. Don't be afraid to look at this from several different perspectives. God's trying to open and expand your mind. Examine and think about what is coming through. Now, kneel down for prayer and speak to Him about what you've received so far. Ask for a greater understanding to be poured out on your heart. And ask Him if what you thought you'd been given and taught is correct. When you finally get a peaceful answer, then you thank Him for the guidance and offer gratitude and tell Him thank you for communicating with you. Most people miss this next step coming up, but here it is. Ask, is there more? What else do you have for me, God? Then wait and listen. Waiting on the Lord has been done for eons of time. It's a humble outpouring of your own heart to wait on Him patiently. Then write down whatever does come. The next step is to do it again, rinse and repeat. Ponder, pray, write down what comes, thank Him, ask is there more, and go back to pondering. Most of the time, you miss the most exceptional inspiration by not taking the time to ask, is there more? If you went to a restaurant and only ate the chips and salsa, you'd miss the salad and the main course and the dessert. I'm sure you could fill up on chips, but you'd have missed the meat of the meal. This process goes into overdrive if you purge yourself from anger, fear, jealousy, and hate. If you take the time to silence those emotions before you go into your prayer. Gosh, sound familiar? Didn't we learn about these emotions last week when we talked about emotions stored in the liver? Strong emotions override delicate promptings of the Spirit. Let me say that one more time. Strong emotions override delicate promptings from the Spirit. So if you truly want to open up that pipeline, that radio set called prayer, you've got to abolish those strong emotions of jealousy and anger and fear. It's important also to remember that inspiration and direction from heaven sometimes comes in thoughts and feelings, and sometimes it shows up as very direct instruction. And sometimes it's one thought leads to another, and then another. Sometimes guidance comes over hours, days, or weeks. And sometimes the answers don't come for years. No matter what the timetable, keep kneeling down and putting your faith on the table. And I have no doubt answers will start to flow. A lot of this information is taken from Richard G. Scott in a talk he gave in October of 2009 titled To Acquire Spiritual Guidance. And it has really been life-changing for me as I've knelt down and prayed earnestly. And as I applied these principles, my prayers even got more meaningful as I applied them and really put this to the test. So let's recap. Here's the recipe. Ask for inspiration to know what to do. Consistently strive to recognize and follow promptings. Next, you're going to want to write down your promptings and thoughts as you receive them. Record instructions or conditioned promises or words. You're going to want to review those. Then, study their meaning and how they apply in your life. Next, you pray and review with God what you thought you'd been taught. And when peace comes, thank Him for the guidance He's given you. The next is key. Now you ask, is there more? You cannot believe the dumps I have received from God when I have asked this question. What else? It's almost like the first answer He gives me is just the preliminary, let's just have an appetizer. And then when I get serious and I say, is there more? It is like the windows of heaven or the river of heaven is opened and I get so much more. So make sure you write down what else you received. Then ponder, pray, repeat, thank Him, and ask what else again. You just keep rinsing and repeating this process as long as you're holding space in that prayer. And then make sure you rid yourself from hate, pride, jealousy, and anger, as those strong emotions do override delicate promptings of the Spirit. And also remember, sometimes the answers come as thoughts, and sometimes they show up as direct instructions. So I want to make a little side note here. You might be asking, gosh, if I have to do all this to get answers and all this recipe business to pray, I don't even want to. Well, that's your choice, and that's just fine, however you want to pray. I'm just telling you what came through for me as I put this process to work and to the test. My prayers became so much more rich, and it was literally like a pipeline of information was opening, like a portal was opening as I applied these principles. I will just testify, this is true and good information if you want a deeper experience through your prayers. So go ahead if you'd like and take a screenshot of this process that you see on your screen here, the recap, print it out and set an appointment with God for some time today. Go through this process and see how He shows up for you. Okay, let's come back now. Continue deep breathing. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Keep breathing. Good. And as you float back, allow yourself to surrender to the peace that you've just experienced today. So take another deep breath in. And let's thank Heaven for being with us today. Good. Imagine yourself, though, if you did have a chance to sit face to face with your Heavenly Father and take down notes of what your conversation was like. That is what meditation really is. It's just a chance for you to hold space for and receive messages as you sit inside the silence. So take a few minutes at the end of this session and write down your thoughts and feelings and the impressions you had today. In John chapter 4, verse 18, we read, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear." I hope you enjoy the relaxation and peace that you've just felt. And I hope that you feel it as you move through the rest of your day. Please share this video with someone that you think could use this experience. And please check the show notes below for lots of great information, along with this week's suggested music track, Fall Like Rain by Passion. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's about that time we've got to wrap it up, but be sure to acknowledge yourself for showing up for you today and doing something good for yourself. And always remember, the secret to life is so simple, so simple. Just take in a little bit more light today than you did yesterday. Bye for now.